There's no turning back now. Beneath me is a dunk tank filled with 1,000 sea lamprey. And I gotta tell you, sitting in the hot seat looking down into them is a whole lot different than being outside of the tank. It's all of a sudden become very real. So here's what's gonna happen. Inside of this cup, I have alarm cue. As we saw earlier, adding alarm cue in with the sea lamprey causes them to go into a complete frenzy. You'll also notice that I'm wearing this brightly red colored life preserver. Now the reason for the life preserver is that if the lamprey attack and they start to adhere to my body, believe it or not, that weight could keep me underwater. So I've got a little tab here that I could pull to help me get to the surface. Hopefully that won't happen, but you never know when it comes to angry sea lamprey. Now, my goal is to stay in here for at least 2 minutes. However, if I'm being bitten and eaten alive, I may not make it that long. Okay, Mario, I'm gonna need you to come into the scene because what's gonna happen is you are gonna actually be the one who deploys me down and into the lamprey. And as soon as he hits that deployment button, the seat will drop and Coyote becomes the buffet line. You guys ready? Take off my flip-flops and I'm gonna put on a dive mask. I have no idea how crazy these lamprey are gonna get, but if we learned anything earlier, there's going to be splashing and tails absolutely everywhere. And for the comedic purposes, I might as well keep my hat on as well, because it'll be fun to see it go down beneath the lamprey. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be eaten alive by sea lamprey. 3, 2, hit! Oh, they're all around me. Oh, they're definitely biting onto my legs too. Oh, I feel like I am literally in an entire bath of slime right now, being eaten alive by aliens. There's one adhered to my arm now. Look at this. They're biting onto my legs and my arms. Now that I'm not moving, the lamprey have come to a standstill. They've figured out that they're not able to escape, and they're also not attacking, which tells me that even with the alarm cue, sea lamprey are not necessarily going to eat humans alive. So while they may be completely alien looking in design, totally bizarre, and absolute living nightmares as vampire fish, look at that. They have no interest in consuming humans. Even when I was in here, splashing around, thrashing left and right, absolutely nothing. All I wanted to do was simply escape. But what we have learned from the alarm cue is that it is incredibly effective when pushing lamprey in a certain direction. So the work that's being done with this research to drive lamprey out of river systems where they may become detrimental to fish or other native species is something that hopefully will work in the fight against sea lamprey. But when it comes to putting them inside of a dunk tank and getting them to eat a human alive, I can tell you firsthand, guys, it ain't gonna happen. So that tells the sea lamprey they're gonna stick to their diet of fish. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that thing! Wow! Dude! Yes! Well, that was one heck of a search! And there it is! Can I pick it up?
You can. It's totally safe.
And it's not gonna ink me.
Might be a little slimy, but that's it.
Whoa, look at that!
Whoa.
Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, is it slimy! Oh, look at that slug! Oh my gosh, it is heavy! Jeez, this thing must be about almost 10 pounds, I would guess.
Is that a big one, Aaron?
Oh, it's a pretty good size, yeah. It's one of the bigger ones I've seen.
Wow. I'm gonna let it stretch out of my arm, see if we can get it to fully elongate itself. Oh my gosh, it is so slimy. All right, now tell us about this slug, Aaron.
Well, Coyote, what he's wrapping around your arm right now is actually his muscular foot. He uses that to get around.
I can feel him gripping onto my arm. I mean, I can feel him actually like wrapping around me, and I can feel his little tongue under there. Can't bite, right?
No, these guys are vegetarians. They mostly eat algae and kelp.
Okay. And it does have an internal shell, correct, where it has all of its organs?
It does have an internal shell. It's kind of soft and made of protein.
Okay.
And that is actually what these extensions of its foot called parapodia are protecting.
I can see why there's no way you would miss stumbling upon one of these. I have to admit, I was just over there talking to Mark. I literally said, I'm really doubting our chances of finding one of these slugs. All we've seen all day is crabs and smaller little brown sea hares.
Which, by the way, we should grab one of those. Isn't there one over here? Let's see them next to each other.
Yeah. All right, you got one of those brown sea hares? Okay, so this is cool, showing the comparison of the giant black sea slug next to the much smaller brown sea slug. And they're both called sea hares, because as you can see, those tentacles sticking up in the air in the front of the head look like rabbit's ears.
I thought the brown sea hare was big.
Yeah, seriously, there is no mistaking the difference between these two species. Wow, that thing is absolutely massive. It weighs about 10 pounds, and fully stretched out, it's about 2 feet in length. That is crazy, and it is so unbelievably slippery. It's actually really hard to hold on to it, and my hands and arms right now are covered in a slippery mucus. Now, are they toxic in any way?
No, they're not.
Okay, so I'm in no danger right now. So they don't bite, they're not toxic, they're just slimy and alien looking. So how do these defend themselves against predators?
Well, you know, these guys don't have as many predators as the California sea hare, probably due to their size.
Okay.
So they would generally just kind of stick to where they are, and they're going to be pretty well hidden in these rocks.
I can't even imagine what would want to try to eat this. And it's just so amazing how big this slug is. When you said to me, yeah, we're gonna go out, we're gonna catch a giant slug, I honestly didn't believe you when you said they could grow to be about 2 feet in length. And until I actually had this animal in my hand, really on my arm, I didn't believe it. This is absolutely amazing. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for having us out today to explore the tide pools here in San Pedro. I think there's no question about it. This is one big black slug. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.